I am doing okay. Right? Not that you asked, but I'm just going to tell you. We're in a crazy place right now in the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, one person was like, I actually think everything's going really well. Yeah, I try not to like focus on too much. I try to like not watch the news. You've seen those guys. They're like, dude, I'm not watching the news at all. But I'm really trying to focus on the positives. I did feel like I'd have a little bit more time to get my World War III body. You know, like I thought I'd look like Rambo by the time shit went down. But if you just dropped me on the front line right now, I'd be like, yeah, just go ahead and blast me in the face so no one can identify this muffin top. That'd be, you know, they'd fly my mom overseas. She'd be like, oh my God, that's his muffin top. That's it. Oh God. That's a mother's love right there.
Like, you always been a little chunky, haven't you?
Yeah. You didn't have to laugh that hard. I also feel like I had an Uber ride, and I don't know if this has happened to y'all, where it's like, maybe I'm not suicidal, you know? When you're in the Uber and he's going 150 on residential streets, you're like, oh God, maybe I want to live, right? My asshole's tight, but my mind is clear. You know? Dad, I forgive you. He always makes the turn somehow, though. And then it'll be like, oh, the road right there? You know the road, they put the road in there. I'm just like, what the fuck is that? Oh, I am a little stressed though, right? Let me get back to that. I have been trying to kind of relax a little bit because I can tell like I'm so burnt out at work that anytime I hear Outlook go off, I'm like, I hope there is a draft. Anytime I hear ting, I'm like, I need to be on the front line with my boys right now. I need to defend my country. Because I can't do another meeting. It'll be like 4:55. They're like, do you have a few minutes? It's like, oh, I got a few minutes, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I've been trying to relax a little bit. I've been like doing like old TV that I grew up with to kind of like just disassociate. My favorite are old legal dramas, right? Because like at the climax of like a 45-minute episode, the defendant will be like, yeah, I signed the contract, but I was scared, okay? I was under duress. It's always just like this massive judge, and he's like, well, did I just hear what I thought I heard? In the great state of Georgia, a contract cannot be entered under duress and stay valid, you know? And I'm like, I've only entered contracts under duress. That's the only time I'm signing a contract. It'll be like, we sent your lease renewal. It's $900 more a month. You have 15 seconds to sign, or we're going to drown your mother. I'm like, I put my middle name. They're like, you stupid idiot. She'll never see your muffin top again. You're done. You guys are a good crowd. That was a callback. Okay, you guys know what you're talking about. I'm doing okay though, despite everything I just said. But I really have been leaning into TV. Like, I don't know if you were like me growing up, but my family always bonded while watching To Catch a Predator. Wild show, you know. My dad would always like pull up a chair, like smoke a cigarette. He'd be like, there's probably gonna be a bunch of foreigners on there. And he'd just sit down, and it would only be dudes who look like me. You know? Just like hours of just being like, oh, Brittany, are you in here? You know? Thank you for laughing, Sam. It's like, if that doesn't land, it's gonna be awkward. They have like 39 seasons of that show. Only one person's like, I have a problem. The rest of them are just mad at themselves for thinking that the girl liked them. They're like, yeah, Sharon was an honor roll student, and on the travel volleyball team, I'm such an idiot! Why would she go with me? And then they think they can just walk out. That's my favorite part. They're like, I'm really sorry, and I'll never hurt a child again. And then they just try to walk out. They're like, I can leave, right? It's just like a roided up SWAT guy. He's like, come out here. And he, I thought the guys would laugh more on the roided up SWAT guys. That's okay. That's okay. All right, tough transition from corruption and pedophilia. I do feel like To Catch a Predator missed the series premiere or series return of a lifetime with the Epstein files, you know? You could have got like 1,000 episodes out of that. You know what I mean? Just be like, who's gonna be on there tonight? Bill Clinton's like, well, I'll tell you what I did. My mom was like, don't do that, Joe. I was like, well, he did it, Mom, so I'm obviously, we're no better than them if we don't talk about it. How can I get you guys back on my side? How to move away from pedophilia. I am married, so yeah, no, it's pretty sick. It's pretty awesome. My wife was like, I don't love that transition. I was like, well, I'm gonna do it. That's what I'm gonna do. I am a short, bald man. Married to a beautiful woman, which has kind of made me an oracle to my single friends. You know, like they'll like go 0 for 10 at the bar. They'd be like, hey dude, can I come talk to you for advice? And they just enter like a dark apartment. And I'm just like, my child, come here. A rough rendezvous again, yes. Help me over the carpet. There's going to be a great flood soon. Why? What? Why she didn't go home with you? Carter, you're hideous, boy. Come on, you're hideous. How to make a woman come. Even the gods don't know that. You know? I'm glad you guys laughed, because imagine that whole thing. No. I feel like if you like talk to a man and he's like, yeah, I've made a woman come, it's always like the most intense story ever. They're like, yeah, dude, my parents left when I was 5. I've just been chasing that love ever since, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? That's why I don't even try, you know, because I had a great childhood. A lot of you laughed, but a few people were like, you're so tall and athletic, I'm sure you're able to make a woman climax. Another tough transition right there, I'll tell you that. I feel like being married is really wonderful, but I have married coworkers that have been married for like decades, and they just give me the worst advice ever. They're like, you want to know the secret to a happy marriage? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I didn't ask you, but what the hell, right? It's a Tuesday. They're like, you never see her. You never talk to her. You never look her in the eye after 5 p.m. It's like, dude, get a divorce, man. You hate each other. I was bullied a lot growing up. And you guys aren't gonna laugh now. I said I was a short, fat guy. Or short, bald guy. Let's add fat to the list right there. Right there. I'm working on the man in the mirror, okay? I was bullied a lot growing up, and I went to my mom for advice. I don't know if y'all have ever done this. And she was like, listen, you're gonna go in tomorrow, and you're gonna look that bully in the eye and say, I'd rather be me than anybody else. I was like, wow, Mom. I'm gonna go hang myself upstairs. That's insane advice. I'll leave you guys on this. I actually love my mom, despite my whole act. Growing up, my mom was a women's studies professor and a feminist theory writer, right? Yeah, I know, she's great. So she kind of taught me that my sister and I are going to experience life differently. Doesn't mean it's fair, but it's going to happen. It's reality. And like certain moments stick out in my mind. One in particular is when my sister went off to college, my mom set her down and said, listen, when you go to college, if you ever go home with a guy, there are 3 things that you need to ask him. Number 1, do you live alone? Number 2, do you have protection? And number 3, what's your address? My friends need to know where you live. That's beautiful. My mom was being transparent. The problem is I thought I was supposed to ask the same questions. So I'm just like tearing it up. The girl was like, do you want to get out of here? And I was like, yeah. Do you live alone? Do you have protection? What's your address? My friends need to know where you live. And they would always be like so disappointed. They'd be like, you and your friends were supposed to bang me. Why are you crying? I was like, Jessica, I'm an independent woman. All right, are you guys ready for more show? Are you ready for more show?